really cool exhibit that we have here in the Interpretive Center. We start off our exhibit hall with basically talking about where we are, because you can't really go too far into what's going on here without you knowing where you're located. So we are in the foothills of the Appalachian mountain chain. It is one of the oldest mountain chains or mountain ranges in the world. Believe it or not, it is older than bones, which I love to tell people. So these mountain ranges, or this mountain range, is about 480 million years old. Again, they are not as big as like the Rocky Mountains anymore. They actually used to be the same size or maybe even bigger, but again, they're just so old that they have eroded over time and are now smaller, and they're ancient mountains. So you may think the Rockies are cooler because they're bigger, but these guys are a lot wiser and have seen a lot more. If you've ever been down at the beach down here in the coastal plain, that really soft, beautiful, silky sand, that white sugary sand, is actually the quartzite that has eroded off of our mountains and are now down at the coast. So when you stick your feet in the sand down at the Gulf of Mexico, you're sticking your feet in the Appalachian Mountains, which is very cool. So we have one of our exhibits is our Physiographic Regions of Alabama. You can actually push all the different buttons to show the different locations. We are here in the Ridge and Valley region. So of course, Ridge and Valley meaning lots of hills, lots of valleys, and here in Double Oak Mountain we're a twin ridge line, and so we have two ridges with a valley in the middle, and a great representation of the Ridge and Valley region. So you have your interior low plateau, your Cumberland Plateau, your Ridge and Valley, your Piedmont, and your East Gulf coastal plain. So again, all the mountains that are coming through here eventually end up down here at the Gulf of Mexico as sand, which is very cool. So one of the really interesting aspects about the center is that we take you through almost like a timeline, and then as we kind of go through this timeline, you really start to look at what makes this area in Oak Mountain and Alabama so incredibly special. So we're located right here. The Cahaba River runs in this area right through here. It's the last free-flowing river in the state of Alabama. And again, the Shades Creek is also part of the Cahaba River watershed. So all of the water that is found here in Oak Mountain, the original 9,940 acres, flows into the Cahaba River. Our new property, that 1,644 acres, actually part of that puts us into the Coosa River watershed. But most of the park is in the Cahaba River watershed, which makes this also very special. We are big fans of the Cahaba River and all the amazing biodiversity that is found in this area, and we share that with Shades Creek as well, which is really fascinating, really cool. So just like we were saying earlier, we are part of the Cahaba River watershed here in Oak Mountain State Park, and so we do have our Cahaba River display. So we have some signage here that talks about the biodiversity of the Cahaba River, talks about our Peavine Falls area being in the Cahaba River watershed. So when you go play in the beautiful waters of Peavine Falls or Peavine Branch, the same waters eventually flow into the Cahaba River. We have our species spotlight, which talks about our Cahaba lilies. We do have our Cahaba lily models here. So you can only see Cahaba lilies once a year, usually from May to June, Mother's Day to Father's Day. And so here in the Interpretive Center, you can see them year-round. So we do have our Cahaba lilies represented, and we talk about our fish diversity compared to some of our other watersheds across the country, and just how special the Cahaba River is. We try to be really interactive here too, because you can read all day long in the center, but if you get your hands on stuff, that's when you really start learning. I'm a hands-on learner, so we try to have a lot of interactive aspects to the center as well. So one of the things we do have are some of our exhibits do open up. So this actually has some fossils on the inside. You can see these fossils were found or collected in Alabama. Somewhat local, Walker County area for most of them, Shelby County for a couple, but all found in Alabama. Some really cool ancient fossils, which is also fascinating. So that's one of the ones that does open up. You can see another one. So one of our other ones, one of my favorite exhibits that opens up is going to be our Eastern Bluebird display here. So you can actually look into the mirror and look down into the nest and see some eggs in there. This is not an active nest. This has been here for quite some time, but it's just for educational purposes only. But what's really special about the Eastern Bluebirds here in Oak Mountain is that we have the Bluebird Trail that was started by John Finley III. He was a great conservationist for our bluebirds, and so our main park road is now named John Finley Drive, and he created this whole bluebird system across the area with bluebird houses to give them habitat back to then hopefully bring our bluebirds back from some of the numbers were dropping there for a while. So now we have a huge bluebird population here in the park and still have volunteers. If you're interested, contact me. me, I'd love to have you come help with our bluebird boxes, our monitors. But we have a great bluebird population because of that. So this is a great way to show people and talk about the bluebirds and get to see kind of what their nests look like.
Those are all the boxes along the road.
All the boxes. Yep, that's it. That's part of the Bluebird Trail. John Finley Bluebird Trail.
I'm going to come join you.
Okay. Yay.
Michelle say, hey, Henry, come over and join us.
Henry, come
Henry.
join us.
Come on.
Wow, this looks like fun.
Come have a seat. Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we offer here as well is this little reading corner for kids and for adults too to hang out. And one of my favorite books is The Secret Pool. So it talks obviously about salamanders and vernal pools and frogs, which is really fun. But we do some programs called Reading with a Ranger. So one of our park rangers will come and we'll sit and read books to kids, which is really fun for the rangers. They get really excited about it. I think they fight over who gets to do it because they have a lot of fun with it too. But we have all kinds of books. We do swap them out every once in a while, keep it nice and fresh, but we have kids come and just sit and just get to be with nature. We'll bring animals out to them to see. It's a great sensory area too, so if you have anybody with sensory needs, whether you're a child or adult, it's a good quiet place to come and relax. And eventually we are going to turn this into one of our sensory stations, so we're very excited about doing that as well.
Oh, I love this corner.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I like these logs. These look
Yeah.
like real logs, but look how
They
soft
do,
they
and
are.
everything's, they're pillows, these that like you're sitting on, that is are actually stools, they're like logs, so everything is very soft and very kid-friendly, but also looks very nature-like, so. And of course we have our awesome frog here, and our snake friends,
We have a
our
skink.
mushrooms.
We have a skink around. Oh, the skink's right
Oh,
behind
the
us.
skink, there's a skink.
Yay!
Our little skink friend.
Hey.
We have mushrooms growing.
Absolutely.
Yes. There we go.
You can harvest these mushrooms here.
It's fun to come and see after like a family's come by and see how they've kind of stacked some of the logs and played with some of the animals. It's always fun to see what people come up with.
Kids get really creative with stacking pillows.
Yes.
For sure,
Yes.
for sure.
Some kids are builders and some
Absolutely.
just like to read.
Oh yeah,
So
you know, we try to offer something for everybody. The backdrop here is our night sky. We do have some constellations represented, and so we are going to start offering some really cool astronomy lessons as well. They're kid friendly, and so we have nighttime represented and then daytime represented here with our fun lights. So we try to create a nice calming ambiance here at the center, so everybody can enjoy it.
This is wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Maybe I need another log.
Here, you want this one?
This
You
is
good?
good.
You good?
Make it work.
Maybe I'll do that again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here, you want me to grab one of these for you? They're real
Yeah.
stable.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go.
These are pretty soft.
I know, they're really soft.